when I saw images of the biggest, CEOs in the tech world attending the inauguration and looking really smug, I thought this is like the best advertisement possible for the Fediverse.
Benvenuti. I told you I was going to mess this up. Benvenuti Fedi Friends al episodio. I did this before and I got it, I swear. Quarantasette
Bravissimo.
di Fireside Fedi. Sono votro presentatore ozoned. Fireside Fedi è un programma dedicato alle persone del Fediverso. Se stai vedendo questo, vuoi fai parte del Fediverso. Welcome, Fedi Friends, to episode 47 of Fireside Fedi. I'm your host, Ozoned. Fireside Fedi is a show about folks within the Fediverse. If you're seeing this, you are part of the Fediverse. If you haven't guessed it by now, today I'm very honored to have on the show an Italian filmmaker, photographer, writer based in Paris, France, who loves free and open source software, director of the Illusionist documentary and the Fediverse promotional video, Mrs. Elena Rossini. Elena, thank you so much. Welcome.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm still laughing. Well, you did a fantastic job. Such a surprise. I was not expecting that.
See, here's the thing about that. One thing I've learned as an American is that foreign folks that are learning English always apologize for how bad their English is, even though it's better than native English speakers. Native American speakers. That's a whole different thing. And two, folks are always so much nicer than they need to be when someone tries to say your language. I botched that, didn't I? It was terrible.
No, it was so cute. It was adorable. It was absolutely adorable. I loved it.
45-year-old man. Yeah, that's what I'm going for, is adorable. I'm on that end of the age spectrum now. It's like, oh, he's so cute. Just pat him on the head and say, go on.
Well, I'm really, really honored that you did that. Thank you so much.
So I put it through like a translate thing, and I know those are never right. So I just wanted to call out my community member, cptbichez. Yes, that's what they go by. Helped me with the language. So hopefully it made sense. I don't speak Italian.
It was impeccable. It was perfect. Yes.
I know. So I took Italian when I was in high school, and I used to know the numbers, and I can say quarantasette. That's what it is. Quarantasette, 47. Okay. It's just when you're trying to initially stop everything, your brain breaks. But anyway, Mrs. Rossini, first off, how would you like to be addressed?
Elena is great, or Elle for short, if you like.
Elle. Okay.
Elle.
Elle. Right. Okay. Good point.
It's actually easier to pronounce maybe than Elena, because there are so many variants. Like in the US, I was always, oh, Elena. Or here in France, everybody calls me Elena. So I'm like, if you keep it short, Elle, then you don't like botch like the pronunciation. So if you like.
No, and it's interesting because when I first said your name aloud to someone, they're like, who? And I was like, Elena Rossini. And they're like, no, it's Elena. I was like, it's Italian. It's not. It's Elena. I was like, I mean, so my grandparents are Italian, so I heard it a little bit growing up, especially things like, bafangu. That's a bad swear word in Italian. So
yes,
my grandparents would say it all the time. This is not for your daughter. I hope she's not around. But yeah, I took a little bit of Italian, and yeah, I kind of figured it was Elena or elle, elle, right?
And how would you like to be addressed? Because I know your name and it always comes out, but maybe you prefer
Oh,
ozoned. What is it?
yeah, no, it's fine. Anything. My name's out there now, so I usually go by Ozoned on here. If you want to call me Anthony or Antonio, that's fine too.
Antonio. Ok,
Yeah,
ciao Antonio.
yeah. Ciao,
Ciao, come stai?
ciao. I know como stai. It's close enough to Spanish. It's how are you, right?
Yes,
Okay, I'm doing well, thank you. How are you?
doing great. A lot of pressure because it's my favorite podcast. So it's really intimidating to be appearing on your favorite podcast, but doing well so far. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
You
It's
kind of threw me for a loop with the Italian introduction, so I'm still trying to recover, but
I told you I had some surprises.
yeah.
Yeah. I tried really hard at that. I realized last night that I wanted to do that. And I'm taking my kids to martial arts. And I'm at martial arts. I'm like, do you know Italian? No. Why? You won't understand. Don't worry. And then I go to the next person, like, do you know Italian? And they're like, no. Why? Who are you? And I was like, never mind. Don't worry about it. But fortunately, someone from my community stepped up. So it was great. Hey, there's Stefano, who just missed the most amazing Italian opening ever. I'm pretty sure the Italian language is now going to be based on my interpretation. It was that good, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So, anyway, Elena, how did you get
See,
to where you're at today?
so I've been listening to your podcast since like day one, and
Oh my God.
I've always thought, oh my goodness, this is like the hardest question to answer. So I'll try my best
Yeah.
not to be too long-winded. But how do I get to where I am today? I was basically like a child geek because my father worked in IT and he would bring home computers. And this was in the late 80s, early 90s, and nobody had personal computers at home.
No.
Um, it was really so expensive. And I was always super excited to try, you know, mess around with them. And the thing that drew me to them was especially trying the graphical interfaces, so like doing creative work with the computer. It was really basic at the time and so ugly, but things improved. And then in the mid 90s, I began to try and create websites. Um, and I really got into that to the point that my first jobs, like out of school, were designing websites for people. And
Wow.
so I I describe myself as like a newbie, but I definitely had some basic
You're
notion
not.
of HTML and CSS, yeah, before I joined the Fediverse. That's all that I knew. And then I went to university in the US, which is why I have this accent. I studied mass communication undergraduate, and then I studied film in graduate school. And then I decided to move back to Europe when I was done with university, just to be closer to my parents because I'm an only child. So Italian only child, you need to be close to home. And basically, I got inspired to create my documentary, like The Illusionist, because I was seeing
Yeah.
the difference in between advertising and media in the US and in Italy. It was like so hypersexualized, and images of women were so stereotypical. So I
Hmm.
basically decided to make a documentary on the topic. It's called The Illusionist. And Twitter at the time was such a great platform to connect with
Yeah.
people that wanted to do activism for progressive causes. And a lot of activists and I don't know, just like really amazing, inspiring men and women. And so I began to use that as a tool to build an audience for my film as I was
Yeah.
working, in pre-production. And then, yeah, it just became really vital to me. And all of that got destroyed on October 28th, 2022, when a malevolent billionaire bought Twitter. And that's the day that I created
What?
my Mastodon account, my first Fediverse account, because now I have like 17. But yeah, that's basically how I got here.
Wow. Okay, yeah, there's a lot there to unpack that I would love to go over. Um, so first off, yeah, I always the way that you say it is like I'm such a newbie to this, and then you drop that you were making websites in high school. That it was in high school, right? Mid 90s or well, mid
Yeah, yeah,
90s you
yeah,
said,
yeah.
right? So you actually did you go through the dot com burst as well, the bubble, or no? Were you not affected by that?
Yeah, but just I didn't really think about that.
Okay.
It didn't have such a big impact. I was still in school. It just feels so
Okay.
remote. But yeah.
Okay, good. Yeah. I didn't know if one led to the reason to go into like I didn't know if one, the dot com burst was like, okay, well now I need to pivot. I'll go into directing or film, right?
Oh, no, 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 not related at all.
Okay.
I think I got into film completely by accident. It's when I graduated from university. As a present, my dad gave me this like tiny camcorder. We bought one so that it could record the ceremony.
Yeah.
And then when I went home to Italy, I started playing around with editing, and I had so much fun. And so that's basically how I got into film, because it was almost like a combination of all the things that I love. So writing, photography, and then, yeah, editing, working at the computer. So that's how I got into it.
Oh wow. Okay, so like you just kind of fell in love due to your dad buying one.
Yeah.
Have you always been like because it's easy to see with movies that they could be very artistic. The which we're gonna get into in a minute, but we all agree the Fediverse promotional video is beautiful. The first time I saw
Thank you.
it, like I wanted to cry, which
Oh
was
my
at
goodness. Thank you.
Fedi Farm together, right? But did you always, were you always that kind of a creative?
Yes, and it's interesting because I would make corporate videos like for companies like using motion graphics. That was kind of like my job for like a long time. And then when I discovered the Fediverse, I thought, it's a pity that there isn't really something that's like more sophisticated to explain the Fediverse.
Yeah.
And I can do that. I mean, I've been doing this for companies, but I should put my skills to the service of like a great cause. And that was the inspiration behind it. Yeah.
No, and that I've been using that to not only, show to other people what the Fediverse is, but to show that like every one of us can contribute to this, right? You don't have to be a software developer. You don't have to be, someone that wants to create a client. You don't have to be, I mean, God, every piece of it matters. So at Fedi Forum the other day, I can't remember who talked about it, that the Fediverse has more moderators than like all the other social media networks singularly.
Wow.
And that I don't know, that blew my mind. This is a place where you can actually moderate because they did it for free over there, right? But now we're seeing corporate control pull those back. And those folks, some of them, are coming here to moderate. And it's like, but it's yours as well. And we have so many moderators now that it out actually is bigger than the other ones. And that blows me away.
It's
The love and
interesting
passion.
because, yeah, that was actually my whole speech at Fedi Day in Berlin. I
Hmm.
was invited to speak, to make a presentation at the conference. And the whole gist of my presentation was that the Fediverse is by the people, for the people, and it
Hmm.
gives you agency so that everybody can contribute, unlike big tech social platforms where it would actually be, you would be crazy. I didn't use the word crazy. I would say you would be delusional or megalomaniac if you thought that you could contribute to the future of TikTok or Instagram or X,
Yeah.
because it's only the owners and the developers that actually shape what those networks are like.
Yeah.
Whereas on the Fediverse, like we all have this like fantastic opportunity to contribute.
And it's
Yeah.
interesting because I was one of those that always was, I would consume Reddit, but it was always, I never understood why you would give all of your hard work to a platform that is not going to give any back. And sure enough, we're seeing that, right? With what's
Yeah.
going on with Reddit. We're seeing, as you said, Elon Musk bought Twitter, and all of that hard work, all those communities that people built, he can unilaterally now just decide to snuff it out overnight if he wants to.
Yeah. Yeah. All
So,
my communities are gone. They're all gone. Yeah.
but now you have new ones.
I have new ones.
Yeah.
Yes. And honestly, like the love that I have for the Fediverse, it just like has nothing to do with like any other platform that I used in the past. And I used every single one of them you can think of. But the
Yeah.
Fediverse is like really, really unique. It's such a special place that really reminds me of the original promise of the internet. And that's really
Yep.
why I just keep putting all my energy, like hoping that, to help in any way that I can and to promote it because it's amazing. Yeah.
And it's funny because I think that there's going to be a I'm this many years old, like, definition. There's certain people that are our age that we were right on that cusp of, we existed before the modern day internet. I never had, BBSs or anything like that. I didn't know what they were. And then I was there at the beginning of the commercialized web in early to mid 90s. I dialed up to America Online. I've seen it grow. I've seen its wither. And this is really, again, that whole, I feel like I'm in a weird, wonderful place, except now I'm not a kid and now I can directly contribute to all of this, however, and it's empowering. Absolutely love it. I'm so excited. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I have not, and I apologize, I didn't think about this before. I have not watched the Illusionist documentary, but I did see the trailer, and I'd like you to talk about how you decided to make that documentary, how you got involved with it, like how long it took, all of that. So if you want to talk about the Illusionist, because it's interesting, the Illusionist documentary, I remember having conversations, or at least overhearing conversations from adults in the 90s echoing the same problem.
Mhm.
So the for those that don't know, sorry, I'm trying to find my tab. Uh, yeah, so this was your first official film, The Illusionists.
Well, I've made like a lot of short films, but The Illusionist
Okay.
is 1 hour and a half. And it was such a gigantic task because I filmed it in 8 countries across 4 continents, and I did virtually everything on it that you see visually. The only things that I didn't do were sound recording or the voiceover narration, but I I produced it, wrote it, directed it, I shot it, I edited it, I did the motion graphics, and I worked on the distribution as well. So
I
yeah,
would
it was like
assume
a
you made the
one
trailer
woman.
for it as well.
Yeah, yeah, of course. I mean the trailer, yes.
Oh, okay. Okay. Yeah. So for those that don't know, the Illusionist is a documentary about women's body image.
Ooh, it's about the globalization of beauty and
Right.
the promotion of unattainable beauty ideals around the world, and how women have been the main target, but how the industry has switched over to men and children as well.
Yeah. No,
Yeah.
it's and this is not a recent phenomenon. There's been conversations like going back to Barbie, when Barbie was created in like the 50s, right? She looked
Yeah.
like, oh, sorry. She looked like one style, and then over time her legs have gotten longer than the rest of her body put together and things like that.
And she couldn't even look straight ahead. Like the first Barbies, they looked
Yeah.
down. They were like super demure. Yeah, yeah,
I didn't
yeah.
know that. Oh wow, interesting. So when did you what how does something like this come about? You're just like, oh, I'm just gonna make a video about this, and I'm gonna travel around the world myself and just record random people doing it. How does something like that get started?
So I remember that I was home in Italy and I was going through my old college textbooks. I don't know why, but I came upon an essay titled Beauty is the Beast: The Psychological Effects of the Pursuit of the Perfect Female Body. And it was such a powerful, powerful essay that spoke in like a very eloquent way about the problems in our culture, like about pressuring
Yeah.
women to feel like they're never good enough. And it also mentioned how it's a universal phenomenon. So it affects women all over the place. It might not be the
Yeah.
same problem, but it's a way to essentially keep women down and keep them preoccupied with things that are out of their control. And so after I read the essay, I thought, ooh, interesting. Like nobody is has done a documentary on this topic from a global point of view. And I knew through friends that it was something that could be discussed. Like I have a lot of friends from India, friends from Japan, and
Hmm.
I've been like multiple times to Japan, and I always found it fascinating that you would have in Europe ads by the brand L'Oréal
Yeah.
showing women how to use like self-tanning lotion because the
Hmm.
ultimate ideal is to look tan.
Right.
And then L'Oréal, like in Japan, it would be like an ad for the opposite product. So to just like have skin as white as possible.
Yeah.
And I thought it would be interesting to just like do a film about this and to also show the
Yeah.
absurdities. Because I have a section in the film over classical music where you see like a split screen with ads by the same brand, but pushing different messages depending on the country.
Yep.
Yeah. And so I got the idea and I thought, well, there are not that many female directors. There are not that many female directors that speak multiple languages or that are aware of like the problem in other countries. So
Yeah.
if I don't do it, who's gonna do it? And that's how I got started. Yeah.
Did you go into this like, I have a superpower, I'm gonna, you know, announce this to the world?
I actually created a blog as soon as I had the idea,
Yeah.
and also a Twitter account. And slowly but surely, like I got a lot of people interested in the idea, and they would give me feedback and just say, yeah, please do this. And I mean, it took a long time from start to finish. It was about 7 years, I think, like
Whoa.
super long time. Yeah. It wasn't something that I was doing full time, but it was
Wow.
something that I kept on going and going and going. Because initially I was trying to get TV stations to fund it.
Yeah.
And well, they said to me, it's a really interesting idea, but we don't think you could do it. And I was like, what
What?
do you mean you don't think I can do it? Well, maybe we keep your screenplay, like your script, but we give it to a male director more experienced than you. And I was like, wait, what? They said this to me in France. They were like, un réalisateur, on peut trouver un réalisateur pour toi. I was like, wait, what? Why réalisateur? I'm a réalisatrice, I'm a director, I'm a film director, but no. And otherwise, they said to me, well, we could do it, but you need to change everything. You need to put yourself in the film and you need to try out various like beauty treatments to make your point. And I was like, I don't want to show the film from the point of view of a Caucasian woman, yeah, with a certain body type. It's like, no.
Did they read the script? Like that's
yeah, exactly.
wow. And my
No, but
so
it was I mean, in their defense, it was at a time when like really trendy, successful documentaries showed the filmmaker going on a journey, doing things like Super Size Me, and they were like,
yeah, that's
well,
literally
we
what
can
I
do
thought
that.
of.
But I was like, no.
Yeah, it's interesting because I would assume that if you came here and tried to pitch something like that, they'd basically, you know, be like, they fund us. Like L'Oreal is, you know, they're a big spender of advertising, right? They have huge marketing budgets because that's what sells their product. But it is not surprising, but also laughably hypocritical that you go to one country, you're saying this is beauty. You go to another country and you say this is beauty, which again, beauty is a societal thing, right? What is beautiful in one country might not be beautiful in another. No one is right. It's completely subjective. But the fact that someone tries to make money off of that and then hypocritically will, you know, whatever makes us the biggest buck in each area is what beauty is.
And one on that point, like one of the things that made people laugh out loud in my film is when I said that on the same day, Unilever, or is that
Yeah.
Unilever, like the
Yeah.
giant,
Yeah.
they bought Ben and Jerry's ice cream and Slim Fast on the same day. They purchased those two brands. So it really goes to show
They don't care. They don't care.
they don't care.
No, it's just about them. They don't care to help you look more beautiful for you. They help to make their stockholders more money. Wow.
Exactly.
Why are we? Oh, it's illegal to be anti-capitalist in America now, apparently, but fuck capitalism. So,
Yes.
What year did this come out?
2016. So it's been a
Okay.
while. Yeah.
Okay. So then 2016, and then 6 years later, 2022, the fateful day, which is interesting that you remember that day. It's interesting that I've talked to people and they're like, you know, 2022, and I don't have a basis of that. What is that? And they're like, oh, that's when Musk bought Twitter. Didn't you know? I was like, I've been on the Fediverse since like 2017, 2018. I was like, no, that was another day for me, right? Like I
But you know
remember.
why I remember the date because it's actually on my Mastodon profile page. Like it says
Oh,
the
is
day
it?
that you joined. Yeah.
Oh,
And
that's
so I
right.
see it every time that I log on. When I click on my profile, like it shows, yeah, October 28th, 2022. That's why I remember.
Well, and it's interesting because you came over on that day, but like if I remember correctly, Fediverse servers around the world were going down because of the influx. So were you actually able to use it? Do you remember?
I remember, but I was a little bit lost at the beginning, like not just the first couple of months, but
Yep.
it was mostly because I was hoping to see a lot of friends move over from Twitter, and that didn't happen. And so I remember feeling like a little bit of disappointment. And at the time, I think that the conversation on the Fediverse, the culture of the Fediverse was like a little bit different. And it wasn't like an instant hit for me. It took a while,
Yeah.
like it grew on me. But yeah.
Yeah. I mean, there were certain people that were on the Fediverse, like myself, that was actively looking for something. The majority of the world was like, okay, it's Twitter. There doesn't need to be anything else. There's Twitter. And so, no, I totally understand that. And we're still going through that and seeing that is a main point of conversation, right? How do we make the Fediverse a more welcoming, open place that isn't just for, the folks that have come over now? I would say pre that date, the Fediverse, while I loved it, it was for technological extremists like myself, where I wanted to control it. I wanted something that was mine, and then also privacy extremists. And I'm not saying extremists in a bad way, but people actively looking for these things, as well as those that had been banned from those platforms, which the uglier side, right? But we kept growing as a trickle. And then there was a flood. And then there's a trickle again. And then there was another flood, right? Each time that
Yeah.
this happens, I'm hoping that we're a little bit more prepared for that kind of a thing.
Yeah.
So what did your first week or whatever, like, so you were lost, right? This is culture shock, essentially.
And I mean, I don't mean to sound controversial, Anthony, but I feel like after almost like 2 decades on social media, people that have been using big tech platforms, they almost need to be deprogrammed, like as if you were in a cult. Because being on those big tech platforms, like you get used to certain behaviors and to do things a certain way every single day for years. And then you get on the Fediverse and the culture is completely different.
Yeah.
So I actually cringe when I look back, like even at the first articles that I wrote for my blog, The Future is Federated. I began
Mhm.
that blog in June 2024. So it's like a year ago. And I was like tempted a few times. I was like, well, maybe I can just like reboost the post and tell people, oh, it's the 1 year anniversary of my post about Friendica.
I know you probably want to hear what happened next on the show, but the following section is only available on the Fediverse. These uploads to big tech platforms such as YouTube are there just to spread awareness about the Fedi. They were never supposed to be the official way for you to watch the show anyway. So go on and get the full episode on video.firesidefedi.live. It is absolutely free, just a different website. This video will now continue from a bit later in the conversation.
Sorry, my brain just went out the window. Oh, we were talking about, so you leveraged Juno Host to start self-hosting. And then
Yes.
how does that get to the video?
How does that get to the video? Well, again, it's politics. I remember just seeing in the news that people like Tim Cook and like all the biggest CEOs were planning to donate $1 million to the inauguration fund for, Donald Trump's ceremony. And I was just blown away by that. And when I saw images of the biggest, CEOs in the tech world attending the inauguration and looking really smug, I thought, this is like the best advertisement possible for the Fediverse.
Yeah.
Somebody needs to use those images in a video to promote the Fediverse as an alternative to big tech platforms. And that's how I initially got the idea. I thought I should make a video about this, but also to promote the Fediverse. And then I was really lucky. So I wrote down the script. It took me like a couple of days, but then reading that back, I thought, this is the most unfilmable script ever. Like, how do you illustrate those things? And also, how do I film myself? Like, that's impossible. And then I got an email like a week later by a company in Paris saying that I worked with in the past. There was always like trying to place interns with me, people that study film in the US. And she was like, would you like an intern? Do you have a project? And I was like, yes. And she said, well, I have a couple of candidates that you can speak with. They're film students from a university in Chicago. And I was like, yes, yes, yes. So I met them over Zoom, and then I liked them both. And I asked the supervisor if I could have 2 interns. And she said yes. And they came over to Paris, and we worked on the Fediverse video for like a month and a half. Yeah, but it was so funny because I had to explain to them what was the Fediverse. I think I recorded it, the
Yeah.
conversation, because I thought maybe we can use this in the future. And their confusion, it was amusing, but also like a little bit alarming. The whole idea of like a server and an instance and all of that, it just went over their head. And then I told them that people on the Fediverse, they use the analogy of email to
Yeah.
explain how the Fediverse works.
Yeah.
And I will always remember the face of one of my interns. It was like, that's the most ridiculous thing that I've ever heard. Like,
And here they are
it's
having to make a
21.
video about it.
Yeah, it's 21 years old, but it goes to show that for like the younger generations, maybe using email as an analogy, it might not be the easiest thing. But
I
yeah.
didn't even think about that. That's an excellent point.
Yeah.
Wow. Holy shit. We've gotten to the point where email's like, pony delivery service bringing you your mail. Like are we
Yeah.
that old? Holy crap.
Yes.
Oh, wow. Okay. So, and I'll say this. Originally, when I got on the Fediverse, again, 2017, 2018, I thought you had to go make a new one on each server as well. It is not, it's one of those things that is so new and so interesting that you really can't understand it until you kind of see something like your video in action, kind of explaining it. And I think that's why it's so beautiful, is that it's a gorgeous video. It's just, you've taken this thing and you've distilled it down to a couple of pieces, and just like, we are welcoming, and it is community, and jump in. There are going to be jerks on either side, right? Like, there's going to be people you don't agree with, but we have the control to help you move on to a different area.
Yeah.
Right. So no, that's, and then you debuted it at Fedi Forum.
Yes. I was so scared. I was so scared because I love the Fediverse so much. And I thought, if people don't like it, like, what am I gonna do? I need to go hiding like in the woods for like two months.
Yeah.
But no, like I got the most amazing feedback. So I was really blown away. I was not expecting that. So that was really cool.
Oh, it was, yeah. I was very, sorry. I was very excited about it because it gave us a way. And I've told other people, no one of us can do absolutely everything, but together as a community, we can do anything. And seeing you leverage your skills in a way for something that I truly believe in, and that, that I feel can have an impact on my family, it's humbling, and it's beautiful because you put it out there for anyone to use to help bring others to this. And it's all of ours, right? And like, we're all working together to make a better world where we can. And thank you so much.
Thank you.
It's beautiful.
So my next big project or
Yes,
big
I was gonna ask you about
vision,
that.
if you'd like to
Yes.
help the Fediverse, I want to create presentations, so like basically slides, to be shown in schools, to introduce the Fediverse. So not a movie, but an actual presentation with a person there.
Yes.
And I want to create like a script and then prepare slides and have that with the potential to be translated in multiple languages or remixed, with the
Yeah.
kind of like a Creative Commons license where it's like you can use any of this, you can remix it, you can change it, but if it's useful to you, please go ahead and use it, because I really want to start my activism in high schools and even middle schools in a way. Yeah, to talk about alternatives to big tech social platforms. Yeah.
No, and it's amazing that you mentioned that, because that was one of the conversations. And I'm sorry you couldn't come. Next one. There's always another conference or unconference. And we have the Fediverse stay in contact, but that's one of the conversations I had with someone is, I don't know if you remember Narf. Narf was
yes, of course.
Okay. So Narf was there, and as always, Narf is absolutely amazing. And talking about the activism that they did around their city and stuff like that. And it seems to me that the French are amazingly good at activism, where I, as an American, am really good at sitting down eating a cheese dog. So that doesn't really translate into the real world. But I said to Narf, like, if there's anything, I could talk to people. I love talking to people. I love trying to explain this kind of stuff. I don't know how to make good presentations. I don't know how to get people into a room to talk to. I need that kind of help. And the presentation thing, I think, lines up perfectly, where we can all play off of each other's strengths and we support each other's weaknesses. And I love that. I think that's amazing. Yeah. So yes, please let me know if and when you have anything. I would love to see the stuff too.
And I also need to make more stock photos for the Fediverse, because I made one in January, because there was an article in Forbes that was all about open source social networks. And they used a stock photo from Getty Images of like a hand holding up a smartphone with icons from like X and TikTok and Instagram. I was like, this is ridiculous. So I quickly created like a stock photo with Fediverse icons on my iPhone. But I need to make one for Android phones as well. And I need to make a beautiful photo that shows like a computer, like maybe like a laptop. So it's on my to-do list. I will make that as well.
Have you checked out Alt Store? Do you know of Alt Store?
I heard the news.
Yeah.
It's amazing. Yes.
Yeah. So maybe loop that in if you can. Because I found that out. And I'm not an iOS user. The main reason I've never been an iOS user, even though I can't stand Google spying, but I went ahead and installed Calyx OS on this, which has its own problems. But the main reason I've never been an iOS user is because I don't want that dictatorship. I want choice in apps. I don't want them to decide tomorrow that, oh, this app is really popular, we'll spin up our own and it's shit. And by the way, we, ban that other one. That's not competition. Now that there's Alt Store, maybe I'll have to look at it, because that sounds very interesting, especially since it ties into the Fediverse. And then to go up to someone and be like, see all these comments? You could do that from anywhere. It doesn't have to be in the freaking App Store.
Yeah, that's amazing.
It's exciting.
Yeah.
Well, is there anything else you want to talk about?
No, I've been preparing for this moment for months, so please go ahead.
So, and that's like, I've had so many people keep telling me, like, you have to have Elena on, or Elena. Sorry, I just did it. I haven't done it for months. You have to have Elena on. And I'm like, I'm trying. We're both busy. We're trying to get it lined up. It'll happen. Okay. And hopefully in the future it will as well. Again.
Yes.
So thank you for finding the time to talk to me on
this
little humble show.
I'm just waiting for the quiz. I'm not going to spoil anything. Just go ahead. I'm so excited.
Well, so because you watched Spaceballs last night, I had to add some questions. So it's about double the size it normally is. That's not saying much,
Oh my God.
but it is bigger. So, all right. Now for the real reason I asked Elena here, is to give him the opportunity to win a prize of a lifetime. Our prize today is super special in that I looked up our genealogy and it appears we're related. I'll tell you more about it at the end though. I thought about getting you Spaceball 1, the big starship, but I heard it blew up and that planet just went to shit. So you ready for the quiz, Elena?
Yes.
All right. Favorite movie and why is it Spaceballs?
It is Spaceballs.
What? Is it? No way.
No. No, I think Spaceballs is the best parody that was ever made. So in that category, parodies, yes,
Okay.
I think it's Spaceballs.
I'll take it. What is your favorite movie then?
Okay, so my favorite movie besides Spaceballs is is Eight and a Half by Federico Fellini. It's from 1963, starring Marcello Mastroianni, and I love it so much because I think it's it's such a superb movie from the points of view of writing, directing, cinematography, acting. And when I was in film school,
Mhm.
I had to rewatch it every week and then write a paper on a different aspect, like sound design or like editing or this and that. And
This is
if you watch it multiple times, it's so smart and so layered. I would highly recommend it.
who did I
Plus, it's
who else?
Italian. You can practice your Italian, Anthony, if you watch it.
What do you mean practice? It's perfect, isn't it?
Yeah, it's perfect. Sorry, sorry.
No, so it's interesting. I talked to someone else that said they loved their movie was something the Fool. I can't remember
Mm.
what the movie was. And I grabbed it, but I can't find a English captioning for it to understand it. But they said the exact same thing. The reason that they love that movie is specifically because in film school they took it for a semester and had to watch it like once a week and write a different paper on it. And they said the exact same thing. When you have to watch something over and over and over again, you start to love it because you start to see, the flaws and the little nuances of every single living thing. And it's like, that's interesting that that is a common theme, which, no offense to filmmakers and directors, I don't think I ever want to be one because that kind of takes some of the magic out of it, doesn't it? Because you're looking at, oh, they did this shot and they had this angle and they did this thing. Do you kind of like pull apart videos like that now? Does it, or can you just
All
turn it
the
off and enter?
time.
Do
Oh,
you?
it's been like
Yeah.
this since like film school. Like I am incapable of like watching a movie and just relaxing. I just, pay
Yeah.
attention to like everything. It's exhausting.
Yeah.
So if my husband is like, let's watch a movie, I'm like, no, I need to chill. I'm gonna read a book. I'm too tired.
I love that distinction because it goes for TV too, right? Like
Oh
they're
yeah,
essentially
everything.
very similar, but it's amazing that you look at it that as not relaxing and pretty much everyone else is just like, yeah, let's just sit down and turn on something.
I
And it's
mean,
like,
in your head, if you're a film editor, you also count how long a shot is and things. It's exhausting. It's absolutely exhausting. Yeah.
okay, interesting. I'm glad I'm not that. I will say though that having some folks like explain a couple of things to me in specific movies, like, do you see how they shot it like this and then this happened? I'm like, yeah, the dude left the room, and they're like, he left the room, but he did this and then. I'm like, holy shit. I have a new understanding of how complex these little things are. But as an audience member, I also understand majority of people don't see any of that. Like,
Absolutely.
yeah, you put so much time and energy in these little things, and then we're just like, what? No. All right. Next question. One, two,
Yeah.
three, four, or five?
Oh my gosh. I was gonna use that for the telepathic answer. That's fine now. Yeah, it's a combination for my suitcase. Yes.
Oh, so you love all of
All
them.
of them.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yes, all of them.
That's amazing. That's incredible.
Yes.
I don't want to call you an idiot, so I'm not going to say that line. Can you tell I love that movie? All right.
Yeah.
Next question. Vespa, Lone Star, Barf, Dot, Colonel Sanders, or Dark Helmet?
Dot.
Really?
It's just so funny. Yeah.
Okay. Just because she's funny, or like she's always thought of her
I
kind of
love
as
her
a
voice.
Jiminy Cricket. Like she's the conscience of Vespa, like
Yes.
who Vespa just ignores
Yes.
because she's that classic self-centered princess, right? Like that's perfect.
Yes.
Yeah.
No, I love Dot.
Dot's voice was played by Joan Rivers. Do you know who that is?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I lived in the US for 7 years, so I'm
Oh,
very
that's true.
Americanized.
Yes, that's true. That's right. Okay. My favorite's Dark Helmet. I love Dark Helmet. Rick Moranis is fantastic. If I could like make a Dark Helmet costume, I would be that guy that's like, I go to it in PJs and then people see me at a comic convention and like, oh, you're dressed up. It's like, no, this is my normal dress. This is how I always dress. I would totally do that.
Isn't that your avatar on the
Yes,
Fediverse?
everywhere. It's not just the Fediverse. It is everywhere. And I love Spaceballs and everyone is just like now is like, oh my God, he's a total fanatic. And I have some things like I'd love a Schwartz ring kind of a thing, but I actually haven't
But you
watched
have that?
I want one. They have 3D print models that you can get like 3D print both of those models. I just found them yesterday. I need to get those. But yeah. I do have Liquid Schwartz though.
Oh, wow.
I've had this longer than I've had my kids. One of my friends found this and gave this to me. Is my camera moving
That's
again?
amazing.
It is. Stupid thing.
Yes.
Stop. There we go. I talk a lot with my hands. I think that's an Italian thing from what I'm told.
It's totally an Italian thing, yeah.
Yeah. And my camera constantly catches me and then it starts following me everywhere. But anyway, Liquid Schwartz. Yeah.
Amazing.
So, all right. Next question. The Force or the Schwartz?
The Schwartz, of course. The Schwartz.
It rhymed. The Schwartz, of course. Why the Schwartz?
Well, duh. Spaceballs.
All right. Okay, so you're an Italian that lived in America, that lived in France. You lived in, anyway. Food. Italian, American, or French?
Okay, so I listened to the interview that you did with Stefano, and I took an issue at the fact that you use spaghetti to describe all kinds of pasta. So, of course,
Yep.
I'm Italian. Of course, it's like Italian food. Very passionate about pasta. In my house, I have 20 kinds of pasta, but it's not all spaghetti. It's all different kinds.
Yes.
My favorite kind is bucatini. Yeah,
I
for the
don't know
record.
that one. No, so
Bucatini, it's very long. You know that one?
I don't know.
It's very long, kind of like spaghetti, but it has like a hole in the middle. It's very thick. Yeah, it's amazing.
Wait.
So good.
There is a spaghetti straw in which to get more sauce, and
Yes,
I've never known
yes.
about this.
Yes. Bucatini. Love that.
I have to try this if I can find it in the US. But no, every single Sunday I would go to my grandparents' house and we would have spaghetti. And they would always call different kinds of pasta spaghetti. So growing up, I always thought it was called spaghetti, which was everything. And it wasn't until I was an adult that I realized, no, it's pasta and spaghetti is one kind. But now, because I've had it with me so long, it's an active mental thing that I have to remind myself. Pasta.
La pasta.
I'll have to try bucatini. Okay. So, well then, no, I guess this next question still adds up. Pizza, pasta, or gelato?
All of them? Do I have to pick one?
That's what I looked. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. They're all great in amazingly different ways. Yeah.
totally.
All right. And you can have pizza for breakfast, and you can have pasta for lunch, and you can have gelato for dinner. We're adults.
No, not pizza for breakfast. Not.
Oh, I love cold pizza for breakfast. I'm one of those people. I don't know.
Well, like I'm an Italian that doesn't save pizza. We just eat everything or throw that out. So
Okay.
yeah,
That's
but I
fair.
understand. I
Yeah.
understand.
Yeah. Okay. Since you're a big worldwide known director, you've worked on all kinds of sets, I'm
Please.
sure, and sound, lighting, or catering.
Sound is so important. I would say sound. Yes. Mhm.
Just having
Underappreciated.
underappreciated. Okay. What
Yeah,
if you could?
sound
What
is-
if there was a way to do smell-o-vision? And I'm
Oh my
not
gosh,
talking, I'm not talking about in a weird, like bad way, but like who was I talking to the other day where we talked about, smell is such like smell has a way of taking you back to a place somewhere where it
Mhm.
seems like vision and sound couldn't do. If you had smell-o-vision, would you think that would be a win or a loss for movies and videos?
Yeah, I don't know. Some things
Some things really
need
should
to
not
be
be smelled.
left alone. Yeah, no, 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 no. Yeah.
Okay. All right. That's fair. Okay. What does an alternate universe Elena do?
You want a serious answer?
I want your
I
answer.
I was this close to going to law school, actually. So not film, but law school.
Okay.
Uh, but then my parents, they talked me out of it. Yeah.
Why?
Because my father said that it wasn't like a very creative kind of profession, like a lot of memorization, and he thought that, I don't know, it just didn't see me doing that. But it's a bit of it's not a regret, but I think if I had gone into law, then I
Yeah.
would have really enjoyed, I don't know, just doing like a lot of nonprofit work and
Yeah.
defending, groups of people that are marginalized. Yeah, I
It's
would have
it's
loved that.
interesting because you can still be creative, although in a wholly different way. But a lot
Yeah.
of advocates are lawyers. They go into that to help fight for others, and that is a very common thing. And I see that it seems to me like you've wanted to fight for common good and the little guy for a long
Yeah.
time. So it adds up to me why you would want to do that. You're not going to go be, a corporate lawyer from Nintendo and sue everyone, I imagine.
No,
But yeah,
no. Yeah.
interesting. All right. Well, I don't know if you know, but I have a very special phone here that reaches out to alternate universes. It's very complicated. It changes from week to week. You don't actually get to see it because you listen to the podcast version, but it changes week to week. This one happens to look like a USS Enterprise standard issue communicator, according to the base. But yes, I'm a nerd. Uh, they reached out to alternate universe Elena. She says she's a TikTok director. So when I asked her for more info, she said she goes around public and is direct at people, and asked her for more information. So she said her highest rated TikTok is where she goes around telling people that they have ugly hats and then says, "Oh no, that's your face." So kind of like Dark Helmet is surrounded by assholes. It sounds like hers is at least filled with one. So, I mean, different universe. Hey, whatever floats your boat, but I'm glad we have the good Elena and not the evil one. Sorry. At least I make myself laugh.
You
I
make
mean,
me laugh. So
you
it's
laugh
good.
too,
So
but
this is true.
this is what I was hoping for with this show is that people just find me silly and dumb and just giggle and laugh at me. Because we all need laughter. We need more
Yes,
laughter.
it's the best medicine.
It is.
You completely threw me off at the beginning with that Italian introduction.
Yes, I was hoping so. Good.
Yeah.
All right. Next question is green, white, or red?
Green, the
Yeah.
Italian flag. Red.
Okay, why red?
Um, just like it's a very powerful color, I think. Yeah.
Okay. Color of passion, the color of blood.
Yes. Well, not blood, but passion, yes.
Does the Italian flag, like does the green, white, and red, do they stand for things?
I'm not sure. Possibly. Yeah, I know. I'm sorry.
I mean, as an American, that's the first thing we learn as a baby. We come out, they wrap us in an American flag, they give us an AK-47, or not an AK-47, I guess it'd be an M16. Yeah. And you need to learn what the American flag stands for, because, greatest country somewhere, I guess. Sorry. Anyway, as usual, the last question will be sent telepathically to Elena. You cannot use any of the previous questions or answers. So I got you now.
No.
I'll send you the question and take your time. Let me know when you're ready. And here it comes. there's your question. Sorry, I think I sent it in French, but I think you know French, so my French is even
I,
worse than my Italian.
no, I think you sent it in Italian. Do you
Oh,
want to know what it is?
I would be surprised if I thought French was Italian. Yes, please. What
Let's
is the
say
question?
it's universal. Parmigiano.
What is that?
Parmigiano. Parmigiano
Oh,
in Italian.
Parmigiano. Oh, okay. Like cheese.
Ah, sorry. Yes.
Okay. See, we call it
No, just
Parmesan
any kind of cheese. It's Parmigiano. It's like the best cheese there is.
because it's what makes it the best.
They actually say that it has like umami, that it's like a little bit sweet, a little bit sour. It has a combination, like all different kinds of flavors. Yeah, I love Parmigiano so much. I even had like a little piece of Parmigiano in my pocket before I walked down the aisle, and I actually ate that. Yeah.
Wait.
You can buy pocket-sized Parmigiano in Italy. It's like wrapped, and yeah. I always keep that in mind. I had like my skirt at my wedding had pockets in it, and I like a pocket of Parmigiano. I'm famous amongst my friends for being like a big fan of Parmigiano. So
Oh my God. Okay. But you're just like, yes, I'm gonna marry this man forever, but secretly I'm gonna have a piece of pocket Parmesan. And when I'm doing my vows, I'm just gonna do it to the Parmesan in my pocket and hold on to it. And be like, really, I love you. You are my first love.
it was very practical. I mean, weddings take so long, so I got hungry just before.
I love this. Did you like stop the vows and be like, hang on a second? You reached in, took a little nibble. It's like, okay, we're good again.
No.
That's amazing. I love this. Thank you
I would
so
send
much.
you some if you want, like those like pocket size like bits of Parmigiano. I don't know if they sell them in the US, so I can send you like some.
We have what are called baby bells, but I don't know if they're Parmesan. I don't
Yeah,
think
no,
they're
it's not like
Parmesan.
big bells.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm shameless. I'll take anything for free.
Okay.
Yeah. Congratulations. You got every answer, either correct or incorrect. Good job.
Grazie.
And prego. I know that one. Which literally last night I realized my grandparents would always use prego pasta sauce. And I literally just realized last night that it's you're welcome, right?
Yeah.
That comes off really like really conceited. A pasta sauce is telling you you're welcome. I don't know. I found that very odd. I just realized last night. But anyway, so as I was saying, our prize today was a super special treat that I looked up our genealogy and it appears that we're related. So I found out that I am your father's brother's nephew's cousin's former roommate.
I got that reference.
Yes. For those that don't know, that's a Spaceballs reference. And yes, I could do it off of the top of my head because I love Spaceballs so much.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
But Elena, thank you so much for joining me on the episode today.
Thank you, Anthony.
I hope you had a good time. I know I did.
I had the best time. Thank you so much.
Good. I'm so glad. Thank you so much. And I want to thank everyone out there on the live stream right now, anyone that watches the videos, even if you watch on YouTube or whatever. Thank you all so much. Think about coming to check it out on the Fediverse. Thank you to everyone on the Fediverse, especially the mods, the administrators, the developers. You guys, every new developer that comes in, every developer that has to leave, you guys have all changed this for the better. It's getting there, and it's going to keep getting there. And it's the reason why it's amazing and magnificent is because of all the unique different folks out there. And thank you all so much for being a part of it. And maybe I'll talk to you guys on another show someday. So thank you all so much. We'll catch you guys next time. Have a great one.